So we're having a laugh with my guest. Today we're talking about real estate. As you and I know, this country, in as far as real estate has grown immensely, properties, rising in costs and value in a very short period of time. Now that we're in East Africa community, expanding to about 5 countries, perhaps opportunities for business, and more so in as far as real estate is concerned. So much so that recently we were told KCB, opened its base in Rwanda. Our guest is the Chief Executive Officer for DN International, Nathan Lloyd. So there I was thinking an old Mzungu man with a briefcase and a tie would come here, not a young guy like you. But before we talk about real estate, talk to us about you.
Okay.
So who is Nathan Lloyd? Are you based here in Rwanda, or are you an investor or a real estate investor? What are you?
No, myself, Nathan Lloyd, I'm the CEO and Managing Director of DN International. So I've been based now in Rwanda for the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. I'd actually gone to stay in Rwanda only for 3 weeks.
Wow.
I've been there now for 11 years. So,
but you're Rwandese, you were born and raised in Rwanda?
No, I'm half Kenyan, half American, living and working in Rwanda, and married to a Rwandese with 2 children.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about real estate. We know it does very well here. Construction in this country has been going on for many. Infrastructure now is, very quickly picking up. But real estate, demand shot up to 150,000 units a year. That's what government tells us. So talk about real estate in general in Kenya, and how that then begins to attract your interest in as far as Rwanda is concerned.
If we look at the current demand for housing now in Rwanda is a requirement of 10,000 units per year. And what we're currently producing on market, including DN International, our other competitors, about 500 units a year. So there's a very big shortfall of about 9,500 per year. So we really can't keep up with the demand.
Wow.
Yes.
So 10,000. Is it regulation that prohibits you then to grow the demand or be able to satisfy the demand? What hampers you from meeting the demand? Is it taxes? Is it government involvement? What is it?
Even if we look at hampering, the demand is still steadily increasing, and we're producing more and more houses onto the market. But probably what hampers is the past story of Rwanda from 1994. So it takes some time, even as developers, to convince Rwandans, East Africans, foreigners, that Rwanda is the right place to invest in. So with that, I think that's the first challenge. Once you overcome that, then we continue to increase and grow the demand.
Absolutely.
For example, in the pipeline, we do have another project coming up called Casa Musozi. Mm-hmm. There we'll be doing 700 houses. Mixed use, we also have one of the schools called Makini School.
Yes.
So we'll also build a school and rent it out to them. So that's also in the pipeline, and we anticipate to do groundbreaking on that project in March this year.
I see.
Yes.
You obviously are looking to attract Kenyan investors to Rwanda.
Correct.
Yet you also have a demand in Rwanda. So wouldn't you be more focused in satisfying the demand first in Rwanda? My assumption is that people in Rwanda can afford houses. So why the interest to get us then to throw some money into Rwanda, in as far as real estate is concerned?
Yes, and as far as, of course, the potential in terms of the increase in the investment, once you acquire the property, they constantly keep on increasing in terms of value.
Right.
The fact that Rwanda is part of East Africa now, that makes it a very big difference in terms. We should not look at it as Rwanda. Now we look at Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi are all one country.
As well.
Yes. So I look at it as one blended country now. So for me, there are no more borders. This is all part of East Africa.
Right.
The fact that also have Kenyan, I think I should also introduce our potential Kenyan investors to look at Rwanda as a possibility of a great investment.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Like I said earlier in my introduction, they say it's a bubble that's about to burst. I've said that for the last 6 years, I would imagine. Hasn't. We've seen it crashing in the US. Are there regulations in this continent, or in East Africa, for example, that will stop or has protected the real estate industry in as far as it spiraling down, like what happened in the US, so to speak?
I think,
or are we blinding ourselves to that, so that it may explode one day?
I think, of course, we can also learn from the US, but the fact that we still have to keep up with the demand. The demand is ahead of us. I think when we look at
and 10,000 in Rwanda.
Correct. So demand is ahead of us. So we have a very strong form of guideline to be able to see that we cannot even keep up with that demand. So I don't ever foresee us facing that kind of challenge, but we can learn from experiences from the other countries like the US.
Right.
And the financial framework also is put in place. Learning from those experiences, the current banks are able to put also specific guidelines to cross-check, are people really qualified to buy these houses, not pushing somebody to acquire a house when they physically cannot afford it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Listen, you can come in. It's a breakfast show. We may not have tea or coffee, but we can give you an opportunity to call and answer questions. So the numbers should be on your screens right now, 0713 600 930. We are talking about real estate. Opportunities abound in as far as the Rwandese market is concerned. So call and ask how you're able to throw in some money. Interesting figures, 14 million for a 5-bedroom house in an area equivalent to Muthaiga.
Correct.
So who are you targeting, really? Is it the middle class? Who exactly is your target market?
We're targeting more of the middle class. Just need to add...
can they afford it?
Yes, they can afford it. We're targeting more, and of course, one of the banks that has joined us in this in terms of offering mortgage financing is SNL. So with SNL, you're able to actually make your deposit on this end and then acquire property in Rwanda. You can even use your physical assets in Kenya to acquire property there. So for the ones who want to generate a rental income, you can monitor your rental income from this end. It's not, you don't specifically have to come to Rwanda also. And we're able to do that as an extra benefit to purchasing houses through DN. After that, we're able to monitor and rent your property for you.
I see what you mean. Because if you look at the figures in Kenya, pretty high. In fact, many people say that real estate is slowly moving away from middle class to people, obviously who can afford such high figures.
Yes.
And there you have then a huge demand in as far as middle class is concerned. Figures are very good in as far as this one, in as far as Rwanda is concerned. I don't know what your thoughts on that would be. Are we seeing a real estate moving away from the people who desperately need it to people who basically can afford it whenever they can, so to speak?
I think as developers, you have to have some form of corporate responsibility as far as that goes. Why I mentioned that is in the current project we're doing and the one that's upcoming, we're able to actually mix and match. So we'll also be doing some form of more affordable. And we're also working with our bankers. And we're able to work with the Rwanda Development Board in terms of offering us special packages so that we don't price out specific people that are capable of affording units at different categories.
That's right.
So developers should not only focus on one specific category. I think I would say we have spread across the board as far as that goes.
Absolutely. In this country, of course, you know how people value property. Question, of course, would be then, this is Rwanda. You obviously have your own rules and regulations in as far as property is concerned.
Yes.
You're sending us to buy property, and I am very interested, especially look at the figures. But is it as easy as it seems to be? Will the Rwandese accept investment from outside as far as owning property is concerned?
Right now, there's actually a very big hunger in terms of the hunger for investment, especially even Kenyan investment. There's a big focus as far as that goes. So literally walking into Rwanda or Kigali is like walking into any other city in Nairobi or Kisumu.
This is property.
Yes.
This is land in Rwanda.
Correct.
I'm sure government has something to say in as far as that is concerned. In a short period of time, yes, we are a community, but then you'll have a lot more Kenyans, for example, owning a lot more property in Rwanda than the Rwandese themselves. Wouldn't that pose a problem?
Rwandese do own quite a bit of property also. We've got quite a few in diaspora who are returning back to hold key positions within the government, and also some who are becoming successful businessmen. So that part is still taking place. The Kenyan component or the East African component is just complementing. It's complementing what is really there, and teaming up with the locals is also a very big plus.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Good morning. Welcome to the Power Breakfast. You have a question or comment? Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hey, how are you?
I'm very fine.
You have a question or comment?
No, I have a question.
Okay.
Yes, my name is Sadat.
Yes, Sadat. Sema Sadat.
From USA.
Uh-huh.
I want to inquire my monthly income. Maybe my income per annum is around 100,000.
Okay.
And I'm aspiring to become an investor.
Okay.
How could the CEO advise me on how to become an investor?
In Rwanda? Or
yes.
Okay.